Have you met a busy doctor who is also a successful bodybuilder? Rajiv Santosham is not only a successful cardiothoracic surgeon but also Mr. Chennai 2010. Born into a family of doctors, the decision to take up medicine was almost a predestined one for Rajiv Santosham. On the other hand, no one really pushed Rajiv to take up the art of sculpting the body.
For me, this was a childhood fantasy. I grew up with the 80s with the He-Man toys and watching movies like Rocky, Rambo, all the Schwarzenegger movies. So that's how, and those are very fascinating to me. You know, those big muscles and those guys doing all these fancy things. And also in school, I was like, when I finished school at the age of 17, I was 49 kgs with the same height. And teachers and students had a tendency to like pick on me every time because I was skinny and I was always scared of everybody. So that's how it, so for me bodybuilding, I want to be big and strong, bigger than everybody, you know, and scare everybody else. So that's how it actually started.
Rajiv started bodybuilding when he joined the Sri Ramachandra Medical College for his MBBS, and since then there has been no stopping him. In school, however, things were quite different for Rajiv, as his parents were dead against his idea of him hitting the gym.
There was this myth that if you start lifting weights early, you don't grow. But that was unfortunately due to the fact that in the 50s, when weightlifters started taking steroids, they started lifting weights early and they started taking steroids when they were still growing, and they stopped growing. There is a clear scientific explanation for that. But unfortunately, my family also believed that, and they did not let me lift weights when I was in school. So I had to wait till I started college in Ramachandra when I started lifting weights with my classmate. And in my college days, I found it difficult to multitask. So studying and bodybuilding was very difficult for me. And actually, I even tried to compete once, and I did pathetically in the show because I lacked the knowledge, the time, and the motivation at that point.
Today, as an associate consultant at Apollo Hospital and a junior consultant at the Santosham Chest Hospital, Rajiv is busier than ever. But thanks to efficient time management and his knowledge of bodybuilding, he has successfully been able to compete in the Mr. Chennai 2010 showdown.
I got my basic knowledge on bodybuilding from textbooks and the internet. But the thing that is important about the internet is that everything that you see is not right, especially stuff that you get on discussion forums. So you have to be careful about what you take from the internet. And also about supplements. They are almost mandatory if you're going to compete, especially. Supplements like whey protein, glutamine and creatine are safe when taken in moderation. There are certain other supplements which may not be of much value, and there are other certain supplements which may be detrimental to your health.
The transition from a scrawny-looking kid weighing about 50 kilos to winning the Mr. Chennai title under the 75 to 80 kilo category has taken Rajiv more than a decade. And as a bodybuilder and a doctor, he has a little tip to share with us.
To stay fit, bodybuilding is not the only thing you can do. In fact, bodybuilding is a boring sport. You should really want to build those big muscles, and you should be able to put in that many number of hours. And you should be able to do monotonous things. Like it's all you do, go to the gym and do 1, 2, 3, 4, over and over again, day in and day out, year after year. That's how bodybuilding is. But if you really just, if you don't have what it takes to do that, I think the best thing for you to do is take the sport that you like badminton or tennis or whatever, and just focus on that and enjoy yourself. I think that is my advice for exercise to people.
This is Rajiv's second attempt at the Mr. Chennai title. The first time around he was disqualified, not for any banned drug, but for turning up a few minutes late. Imagine how frustrating it would have been after all the hard work. But I guess everything happens for a reason, and the wait has paid off because he's Mr. Chennai today. And our next story is about a Chennai-based designer keen on making a big statement in a fashion world that thinks size 0. A pioneer in the XXL design segment, Tina Vincent launched a label at a time when plus-size people were apprehensive about wearing Western styles.
Way back when I was trying to open a store, I realized there's nobody for plus-size women. I was plus-size myself after 2 kids, and I had nobody I could go to for my clothes. So it started with that. I said, why not? I was doing for regular women to then, but then I was also a smaller size, and then I had 2 kids, I became bigger, so I said, why not? So that's how it started. That's 10 years back now.
Tina's 2010 collection is dressy, keeping in mind the festive party season fast approaching. A lot is handcrafted, and most of the garments are heavy on embroidery, sequins and crystal work.
This just showcases what I've done through the 10 years. It's more an anniversary thing, and it's also what works on plus size women. I'm trying to say that how you can be plus size and yet wear whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be a certain trend, a certain fashion, everything does work. So that's what we're trying to depict out here, and trying to instill the confidence in everybody around us.
The evening witnessed a sizzling fashion show where models from across the world sashayed the ramp. Tina had these pretty ladies specially flown in for the show, and here's what they had to say about her collection.
So it's fantastic. It's really nice to be able to wear really nice clothes that actually fit you very well, as opposed to trying to squeeze yourself into a size 8 or a size 6 or something. So, and it's refreshing as well. It's nice to see such kind of a nice diverse range of clothes, like from kind of gowns to kind of tiny little skirts and tops. Just, she's got like a really full collection of things, so it's nice. It's quite refreshing.
You can still look like a female, that's what I like. Not that zero size thing. You can feel confident as a woman and still not be zero size. That's great.
Throw away those shapeless kurtas or anti-fit shirts, because now you know who to get in touch with to help you make that fashion statement. When we return, we take a look at a 101-year-old business that continues to flourish even today.